In a country where political intrigue is never far from the headlines, Wanjigi stands out as a figure who has clashed with not one, not two, but three different regimes. Could he be the common denominator? Or is he simply the victim of a well-coordinated political hunt? Let's take a closer look.
The other day, they blocked a car that...
On the 29th of September, Wanjigi came forward with a disturbing claim. According to him, a car, suspected to be state-owned, parked outside his compound.
The windscreen.
The individuals inside did something strange. They poured blood at his gate. Yes, blood. Wanjigi alleges this was an intimidation tactic.
The other day, they blocked a car that had just dropped me somewhere, just on this road of Muthaiga. And you know what they did? They blocked the car. Two Subarus blocked that car, and they threw eggs at the windscreen. Today, or last night, they've come here, the same vehicles, and they have poured blood at my gate. This is every single day they are doing this. We are trying to be as evasive as possible.
But why would the state resort to such dramatic actions? This incident comes just weeks after a police operation where they reportedly chased a car they believed Wanjigi was inside. When the car pulled up to his home, Wanjigi allegedly made a dramatic escape into his house where he hid, evading capture. The police weren't done there. They camped outside Wanjigi's home for several hours, attempting to break down the doors. Eyewitnesses described the scene as something straight out of an action movie. Officers in SWAT-like uniforms, reminiscent of those in the US, were seen battering at the door, while others patrolled the perimeter, weapons drawn. After several hours of effort,
"Don't shoot me! Do not shoot me!
They finally managed to break in.
Do not
Inside, they found Wanjigi's wife.
shoot me!"
Desperately, she pleaded with the officers not to shoot. Yet, despite an extensive search, Wanjigi was nowhere to be found. Rumours swirled that he had somehow slipped through their grasp. But what was the reason for this raid? Some allege that Wanjigi was funding the Gen Z protests that have shaken the nation, with claims that he was carrying weapons in the car he was spotted in. Now think about that for a moment. Army weapons. It's a serious allegation and one that raises many questions. Wanjigi, a man known for his wealth and influence, has always been a controversial figure. But is there any truth to these claims? We may never know for sure. Not long after, Wanjigi was arrested. However, it didn't take long for him to regain his freedom, as he was released on a 10 million Kenya shillings bond. But what was the real motivation behind this arrest? Some say it was about the weapons. Others believe it had more to do with his alleged role in the protests. But here's the kicker. This isn't the first time Wanjigi has found himself in such situations. This brings us to a bigger question. Why is Wanjigi always at odds with the powers that be? Let's rewind a little. During the Uhuru Kenyatta administration, Wanjigi was also a marked man. His Muthaiga home was stormed by police in a dramatic incident in 2017. It was Raila Odinga, his close ally at the time, who came to his rescue, creating quite the spectacle. But that wasn't the end of it. During Uhuru's second term, Wanjigi's office was raided again. This time, he was reportedly inside, and the police surrounded the building in what appeared to be yet another intense manhunt. Fast forward to the present, and it seems the William Ruto government has picked up right where the Uhuru regime left off. But why? Could it be Wanjigi's rumoured funding of the Gen Z protests, or is there something deeper at play? Some believe Wanjigi's influence and power behind the scenes make him a perpetual threat to those in power. He's a man with deep pockets and strong connections, after all. Then, there's another angle to consider.
I'll even tell you, Sasa imeiva.
When Wanjigi appeared on Citizen TV with Yvonne Okwara, he made a startling claim. He suggested that a script had already been drawn from Articles 1, 2 and 3 of the Kenyan Constitution, potentially paving the way for an early election.
We have drawn up a script. Following the constitution of this land, Article 1, 2 and 3. That will bring an election before 2027.
Now this is an interesting point. Could this be the real reason he's being hunted so fiercely? Is it possible that Wanjigi's knowledge of a potential loophole in the constitution has spooked the powers that be? If an early election were to occur, it could upset the delicate balance of power, and Wanjigi might be seen as a catalyst for that. But let's not forget that Wanjigi's troubles didn't start with Ruto or even Uhuru. No, his political misfortune extends even to ODM, where he was once considered a close confidant of Raila Odinga. Wanjigi was literally thrown out of an ODM meeting in Kasarani, treated like an outsider, despite his once prominent role within the party. It's as if, overnight, a man who had been a trusted ally of Raila became an enemy. How does someone go from being so close to the centre of power to being a target of the state? Could it be that Wanjigi's business venture isn't a straightforward one? What is the problem? Now let's add another layer to this story, the nature of Jimmy Wanjigi's business dealings. Wanjigi is known to be a powerful figure in Kenya's business sector, particularly in government contracting and tendering. Over the years, Wanjigi has been associated with large-scale infrastructure projects, arms deals and other high-level business activities that often overlap with political interests. He is said to have played a crucial behind-the-scenes role in securing contracts for major government projects, including roads and other key infrastructure. In fact, Wanjigi has been linked to multi-million-dollar deals, some of which involve sensitive sectors like defense and security. This could explain why he has often found himself in the crosshairs of political figures. After all, being involved in such high-stakes business is bound to create powerful enemies. It's also important to note that Wanjigi's business empire spans beyond Kenya's borders. His international connections, particularly with companies involved in the arms trade, have added to his notoriety. The businessman has long been rumoured to have a hand in Kenya's defence procurement, which could add weight to the allegations that he may be involved in activities seen as threatening to the state. Could this be why successive governments have tried to clamp down on him? Is it possible that his business dealings put him in direct conflict with the powers that be? So here we are, with Jimmy Wanjigi once again in the crosshairs of the state. But this raises an important question. Is the problem with the government, or is it with Wanjigi himself? How is it that this man has been a target for not one, not two, but three successive regimes? Uhuru Kenyatta's administration went after him. ODM kicked him out. And now William Ruto's government is on his trail. Could all these different players be wrong about Wanjigi? Or is he, in fact, the common denominator? This is where I turn to you, our viewers. What do you think? Is Jimmy Wanjigi a victim of political persecution? Or is there something about him that makes him a constant thorn in the side of those in power? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. For LifeLens TV, I'm Jennifer Harrison. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest news and analysis on the stories that matter to you.